Hi all, welcome back on the session on Python. This is the module 2 of Python learning, and in this module we are going to start with list. Okay, so what is a list, guys? List is a collection of different data type. Okay, we have seen arrays is basically of a single data type, but when we talk about the list, it's collection of different data type. Okay, so let's start it off, guys. Okay, so let's say I wanted to declare a list. Okay, so I'm going to first work with a list which are numbers. Okay, so how do you define a list, guys? In order to define a list, okay, so list you have to define with the square bracket. Okay, and the elements of the list are separated by comma. Okay, okay, right. List and dictionary are the two versatile data structure in Python, guys. Okay, list is most of the data structures which you will be working in Python would be list and dictionary. Okay, when you will be dealing with the file handling or a database operation or XML parsing or the web scraping kind of a function. Okay, most of the functions that you will be working on this will return a elements which is of a data type, which is a list or a dictionary or a tuples. Okay, so list is that is the brief definition of list. Okay, and list is mutable. Okay, so what does that mean? We talked about the strings which are immutable, right? So you cannot change the characters in the string, but in list it is not that way, right? You can change the elements of the list. Okay, and we will see how. But very first thing, okay, we will always start with print, and then I'm gonna print. I'm going to say, let's say, all the numbers. Okay, and I'm going to say like this, and I'm saying is type. Okay, numbers, right? So what I'm expecting, I'm say expecting the data type which is a list, and I'm expecting all the numbers in this list. Okay, so let me quickly run this. It will ask me to save, and then it will run. Now if you see this, it printed the entire list, as well as it gives me a data type which is a list data type. Okay, now let me do this print. Now the very first thing I'm going to work on is how to access the elements of a list. Okay, so this is my list and I wanted to access the elements. So what I will do, okay, I'll call here as access the elements of list. Okay, and I'm going to say, okay, so I'm going to call the second number. So what I'm going to say is, okay, okay, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to take out the number 2. So the list starts with 0, 1, 2. So that is what we are expecting the output. Okay, so if you see this 0, 1 and 2, the second element, or basically when I say 2, it will get me the third element in my list, which is nothing but 3. Okay, so this is how we print the we access the list. Okay, individual element. Now we have seen something called slicing, guys, you remember, right? Now let me try to print. Okay, print the string in such a way that I don't want the all elements, but every alternate elements I wanted to print. Okay, that is what I'm going to do. Now if you see this, it takes my first element, then it skips this, then it picks this, then it skips this, right? So every alternate elements it picks up. Okay, so in a gap of, it basically starts with 0, then 2. Okay, 2 is nothing but here, then 4, right? So, and so on and so forth. So it will basically take numbers 0, number 2, number 4, 6, and all of this things, and that is what we have seen in the list. Okay, so this is for accessing the elements of the list. Okay, now we are going to manipulate or add elements to the list. Okay, so let me do this. I'm going to say append the element at the end of list. Okay, so I'm going to say, let's say I wanted to add okay, so let me first take this. Okay, and then I'm going to say append. Okay, append will add the element at the end of the list, guys. Okay, so if you see, the append is there. Now let me add something. Let's say, let me add 50 to the string. Okay, okay, so let me add 50, and once I do this, I basically wanted to print the entire string. Okay, so let me, yeah, take this up. I have to print the entire list. Okay, so I'll just remove this guy. Okay, so once I appended it, okay, I'll say after appending at the end of the list. Okay, so after appending 50 at the end of list. Okay, and then I'll print the numbers, obviously, right? So let me just do this. So I have added 50 at the end of the list. You can see, guys, right? Now let me insert the element at the desired location. Append will add to the end of the list, but I wanted to add to the desired location. Okay, or basically I'll say insert the elements element at desired location. So let's say I wanted to insert it at 2. Okay, numbers is the list, and I'm gonna say insert. Okay, 2 count. So what it typically means is it will insert 0. Okay, so 0 is after the second element. Okay, or at the second element. Okay, so basically at the second element it will insert 0. So let's run this. Let's call this after inserting 0 at the second element. Okay, so basically this is my first element, this is my second element, so it will push 3 and put 0 at that location. Okay, so it's basically after second element, so it pushed 1 and 3, 1 and 2, and basically at this location it has moved it to this. Okay, I can say insert at 0th location. Okay, and then run it again. Okay, so now this is my 0th element, this is my first element. So at 0th location, right, it pushes there, then this is my first and this is my second, so basically inserts at the second location. So I can give that location and it will push it like that. Okay, so 0 1 and then it pushed it to here. Okay, so this is how I insert this thing. Then what I can do is I can extend my list. Okay, extend is basically to add more elements at the end of the list. Okay, uh, extends add one or more elements at the end of list. Okay, so this is what the extend is. So let me call this new underscore list. Okay, so this is my new list, and I'm going to say my new list contains something. Okay, so let me print out certain numbers: 43 comma 25 comma 66 comma 56 comma 66 comma 77, right? So it's like a lot of numbers in this. Now I'm gonna extend this list. Okay, dot extend. Okay, and I'm going to push this new list. Okay, so I'm gonna push this, and then I'm gonna print my list. Okay, so basically I'm gonna do this, call this method again. Okay, and okay, and I will say is basically after extend. Okay, so I can call it like this. Okay, or also I can say, okay, let me run this first. Okay, now if you see this, everything gets added to this list. Now I can also say, let me just do this and rerun the program. Okay, so my list is this. Okay, now I'm gonna do numbers plus equals to new underscore list. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is a different way of extending a list, and again it should take everything. So basically these two are same, guys, right? That is what I wanted to show it to you. Either you can do this way or either you can do this way. Okay, now now let's do more operation on the list. Let's modify the elements. Okay, so I wanted to do something. Okay, numbers of 0. Okay, and I wanted to put this or modify this to 100. So right now my list is starting with 1. I wanted to start with 100. Okay, so I'll say after modifying the one element. Okay, let's run this, guys. So now you have 100, whereas your initial list has got 1. Okay, so you have no more 1 in this list. Okay, so this is how you can modify the elements. Now let's talk about something called removal. Okay, now there are different ways to remove this string also. So what are the different ways, guys? The first way is to pop. Okay, pop will remove the element from the end of the list. Okay, so let's say numbers underscore remove. Okay, and I'm saying numbers dot pop. Okay, and yeah, so let me do this. I popped out this number. I'm gonna say print, and I'm going to say element removed. Okay, and I'm saying I'm printing this. Okay, so I'm going to say this numbers removed, and I'm popped out this, and okay, so one number is popped out, and then finally the string or the list is saved in this numbers removed. Okay, so the last number is removed. Okay, so pop will remove the last element from the list, so we should be expecting a list without 77, or basically saying that this is the number which is being removed. Okay, and if I just print the numbers, okay, I can print this element removed. I can print the list also, right? List after the pop. Okay, and as I said, if 77 is removed, I should get a string without 77, right? Or list without 77, right? So this is what is the pop element, right? Now there's another function which will remove the first occurrence of any element. Let's say, is there any repetition? Yeah. So basically 3 is repeating, right? If you say 2 is also repeating, I wanted to remove 3. The first time it occurs is here, okay? So what it will do, it will remove this 3. Okay, so how should I do it? Let me say number, so numbers is the original thing. Okay, numbers dot and then remove. Okay, and I'm going to remove, let's say I'm going to remove 3. Okay, or let me remove 2, guys. Okay, okay, let me remove 2. Okay, now once I remove it, okay, and let me say list after removing 2. Okay, and then the number. So let me run this. Now you see this, the first occurrence of 2 was here and it has been removed. Okay, we had only one occurrence of 2, right? It was 25 initially. Okay, okay. So anyway, it has removed the first occurrence of 2 here. We can try with another number. Okay, but it has just removed 2. If I say 66, okay, there are two 66. Can we try once? Okay, so let me do that. Remove 66. Okay. Now if you see this, okay, the first occurrence is being removed, okay, which where it was here or somewhere here. Now if you see, before 56, 66 is not there, so only one occurrence has been removed. Okay, so that is what I wanted to show it to you. Now let me count the number of occurrence. Okay, so there is a count function in the list where you can say I wanted to count the number of occurrence of a certain element. Okay, so what I'm going to do is print, and I'm going to see, say, number of occurrences of 3. Okay, and I'm gonna say numbers dot count of 3, right? So what it is going to do, it is going to give me the count of number of times 3 appears in my list, right? So that is what I am expecting is 2, right? So twice it appears. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I had to remove all the occurrences of this number. Okay, so it was just to remove a single occurrences, but if I have to remove all the occurrences, then what should I do, guys? I have to use the while operator, right? So you remember this now, while, and I'm going to give my conditions. Okay, and I'm going to call my remove method, right? Okay, so it will continue do that, and after that, after remove, okay, after remover of all occurrences, whatever you wanted to call. Okay, let's see the list now. So all the occurrences of 3 has been removed now, guys. Okay, now what is the next step? The next is to delete, right? So I wanted to delete elements from the list. Okay, and delete is a function, guys. Okay, so basically what we are going to see is a function that can be used on numbers or strings or anything. Okay, we will see here from the list, then we will use with another data types. Okay, so let's say delete, and I'm gonna say what I'm going to delete. Okay, so I'm going to say I wanted to delete numbers, okay, in the list from 0 to 2, right? And what it will do, it will basically delete 0 1, okay, that is what it will delete. So 102 will be deleted, okay. And after delete, what I can do, I can print. Okay, let me do that. Okay, so let us delete, and then I'll say print after deleting the elements. Okay, now if you see this, these two elements has been deleted. You can easily see this, right? You can delete the entire list also. Delete and just pass on the numbers, it will get deleted. Okay, now when you delete the list, okay, it will delete the entire reference and you will not be able to reference it out also. Okay, so make sure whenever you're working with the delete, you are not deleting the entire list, okay, until unless you don't need it. Now let's talk about something called sorted. Okay, so what is sorted, guys? Sorted is a function, right, that will not modify your original string, but it will sort your string. Okay, so sort is a function. So let's say I have sorted list. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to call sorted function. Okay, and I'm going to pass something called list. Okay, I'm going to pass list to this function. Okay, and I'm going to say print after sorted. Okay, and I'm going to print this, and I'm also going to print the original list. Okay, or in place of new list, let me still work with the numbers list. Okay, or if I have to do this, I need to take care of this. Okay, so I'll still work with the old list, this one. Okay, will not work with the numbers list. So let me run this, guys. So sorted will not change the original list. So this is the original list, if you can see, and after the sorted, this becomes something like this. Okay, so as I said, sorted is a function which will not modify the original list, but we have a method called sort that will modify the original list. Okay, so let's say I have something called new list. Okay, or I'm gonna talk about sort. Okay, so I have new underscore list dot sort. Okay, and it takes some parameters, reverse is equal to true. Okay, so this is what it takes, and I'm going to print, and what I'm going to print after sort. Okay, and I'm going to print new underscore list, right? So it changes the original string, guys. So if I print new list here, you will see, okay, the entire list have been sorted, right? So this is what the sort. Reverse is true, so basically from ascending to descending. When I say reverse is false, I can run this again and I can get this values. Okay, now there is So we have been talking now about only the only basically the list, which is a numerical data type. Okay, but let's see something, a list which is a string data type. Okay, and we will have a lot of functions for the string. Okay, string list. Okay, so let me define a list called location. Okay, and let me put in couple of locations. Okay, Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai. Okay, Hyderabad, Coimbatore. Okay, so these are all the locations which are there. Okay, now what we are going to work is couple of functions. Okay, so let's say there is something function length. Okay, uh, okay, so let's take functions one by one. Okay, and then we will see more of operator functions and all. Okay, but let's first see some of the functions which are available. Okay, so very first thing I'm going to say print, and I'm going to say length of the list. Okay, now how do I know the number of elements in the list? Length of list. Okay, so I have a function called length. Okay, which I can pass my location. Okay, and this will print the length of the list. Okay, the number of elements in the list. Okay, now there is something function called max. Okay, so let me do this also, max of list, and I have a function called max, and let's work with new list. Okay, new list. I can also have a function called min. Okay, we already have length. Okay, let's say sum, we can call sum. Okay, min of list, sum of list. Okay, and what we will also see is okay, let me call max on the location operator, location string also. Okay, so basically it will take the ASCII value and then print the maximum of that. Okay, so let's run this code, guys. Okay, so now if you see this, length of list is 5. Basically it's a location list. Max of list is Mumbai, right? So now if you see this, so we have been Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, and Coimbatore. So M is from the ASCII perspective, right? So basically M comes after B, C, H, and C. So this is why it is printed. Max of list is 77, is the highest element. Minimum is 3, and sum of the entire elements is 356, guys. Okay, this is from the new list. Okay, now this is what the sum. Let's see. Okay, so yesterday we have seen or in the module 1 what we have seen is the membership operator also, right? And what is the membership operator, guys? And also we have seen the repetition operator, right? So membership operator will say that if a string is present in this, then print true, otherwise print false. Okay, so let's see the membership operator. Okay, so let's say if, how do you use this membership operator? if Bangalore, okay, in. Now if I say if Bangalore in location, okay, if Bangalore in location, okay, then you say print Bangalore is present, okay. Now otherwise else, Bangalore is not present, okay. So either it is present or it is not present, okay. So this is a membership operator, membership operator, right? So membership operator in the string, or sorry, in the list can be used in this way. Repetition operator, so let's also print the repetitions operator, okay. So if I say print, and what I'm going to do is repetition, okay, and location star 2, right? Okay, so this is the complete list will be printed twice. I can also print the part of the list, okay. So let's say I'm doing this slicing part, so from 0 to second, and I'm going to print this part, okay. So I can do either way, so let me go ahead and do this. So membership operator, repetition, so it will repeat the entire list, whereas in repetition it will first repeat Bangalore Mumbai only, so the elements from 0 to 1, okay. So this is the repetitions operator. We can use a iterator, okay. So what we can say, for location in location, okay, and then you say print location, okay, print location, right? So this is what I'm going to print, right? So the location, and then you print the location. So let's run this. So if you see the location Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, and Coimbatore, so all the locations are getting printed. So this is a for operator, okay, and okay. So what else we can see is so okay. So let's take one exercise, guys. Okay, so let's say I wanted to generate a list, okay, uh, which will basically what it will do, it will square the list, square the elements, okay, and add it to the list, okay. So basically we have seen the append operator, okay. So we will work on this, okay, with the append operator, right? So let's say I have a list, and which is called sqr underscore list, okay. I will take a blank list, okay. So this is my blank list, okay. Now I'm going to say max underscore num is equal to, I will take the input from the user, right? So I'll say input, and I'll say enter any number, okay. So I'll enter any number, okay. Then what I'm gonna do is for num in, okay, and now I'm gonna say range, okay. So it will start from 1 to max underscore num, okay, plus 1. So the last element plus 1. So if I've given 5, it will take it to 5 plus 1 6. So basically num in range of 0, oh sorry, 1 2 3 4 5, it will go to 5. Okay, so we have seen the range operator and how it works, we have seen that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, I have this list square underscore list dot append. Now I'm going to call append method. In this append method I will have num, okay, multiply by 2. So basically it is, I'm doing the square of the number. Okay, so this basically I'm calculating the square, which is, this is, the statement is nothing but num into num. Okay, now I'm gonna print also. Okay, so let me print also, and let me print here guys. Okay, not within the for loop, I wanted to print at the end of the loop. Okay, so I'll say square list. Okay, and I'm gonna say square underscore list, right? So let's do this, let's run this. Okay, enter any number, let me enter 5. Now if you see this, it will generate 1 4 9 16 and 25. So basically get the square of all these things. Okay, now let's say I wanted this to only work for a specific case. Okay, only when, if, for even number. Okay, so I'll say num, and then I'll say is equal to 0. So basically it's a even number. Okay, then I'm gonna say do this. Okay, and then finally you generate a list, right? So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, now let me enter a number, same number. So now if you see this guys, so it will take 2, right? Then it will take 4, that's it. Okay, so it will print the square of even numbers, right? Okay, now, okay, so now if you see this entire code, okay, this is a 4 line of code, and you would like to put it into a single line of a code. Okay, the entire thing. Okay, so how should you go about doing it? Okay, very important concept guys, which will I'll be discussing now. Okay, and that is called a list comprehension. Okay, list comprehension is something where you have a variable. Okay, and then what you have is expression or function or condition. Okay, the next is iteration and a optional, again a condition. Okay, so you can write everything into a single statement. Okay, so for here what I can write, I can say in this. Okay, now first is the expression. So what I'm going to do is, this is my expression, right? I'm going to do the square of a number, and I'm going to write iteration for num in range. Okay, and I'm going to give a range. What is my range guys? 1 comma max num plus 1. Okay, and again this is the optional parameter, so I will not give it now. Okay, so what this will do, okay, and I'm going to print, right? Let me print, and I'm going to say something like this. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, let me enter 5. Okay, now if you see, I get the same output, right? Now what I can also do, I can put a condition here, right? And what is my condition? This is my condition, right? And if I put this condition, okay, now I'm going to get only the square of even numbers. Let me again enter 5. Now if you see this, get the this of even number. So you can use the entire statement into a single line, and that is called a list comprehension, guys. Okay, now let's take another example. Okay, so what we will do is we already have a location. Okay, and location is Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, and all of these things. Okay, I will say the length of a location. Okay, so what I'm going to find is length of location. Okay, and I'm going to say, okay, length of location. Okay, for location in location. Okay, so what it will do, it will print me the length of all the location, and I'm going to say print length of location. Okay, and length of location, right? So that is what I'm going to print, and I'll say length underscore loc, right? So let's run this. Now let me do, okay, let me 4. Okay, so length of location, if you see this, Bangalore is 9 and Mumbai is 6, and so on and so forth. Okay, I can as well use location. Okay, so let me also, okay, so let me do like this. So length of location Coimbatore. Okay, it is, okay, so finally let me, okay, so it is printing only the last one, Coimbatore. Okay, okay, so what is that in my list? Okay, so the last one is getting printed. Okay, so what we can do is, so if you have to print each of this thing, I let me just think over this, guys. Okay, so can we print that? So I don't think we will be able to print in this statement until we will be using the uh, okay, because this is just returning the length, so we'll be able to print the length but not the entire this thing. Okay, so okay, fine, so we'll not be able to print, but we are able to print the length of each location. Now I wanted a specific criteria, right? So only if location, okay, so I'm gonna give this condition, guys. Okay, location dot ends with, okay, and this time I'm going to say ends with a character called I. Okay, then you print this. Okay, so let me run this. Okay, so only the location which are ending with I, it is getting printed, guys. Okay, so basically Chennai and Mumbai, right? So these are the two locations which is ending with I. Okay, so you can keep up the condition saying that this is what you need. Okay. Okay, so let's say another example where you wanted to only get, so in this similar thing I'm not interested in length, but I'm interested in something else. Okay, I wanted to get the location. Okay, I am, so in the previous example we were struggling how to get the location, so I'm now saying okay, I don't need anything, I need location. Okay, and for location, in location, if location ends with A, right, and then I print the location, and I'm going to print the location. So what I have filtered it with A, and I'm going to print the location. Okay, I can as well type that length of location is more than 6, something like that also. Okay, but let's stick it to something which is ends with A. Okay, so nothing ends with A, so let me do I. Okay, otherwise it will filter out everything. Let me run it. So again I'll enter the number. Now if you see this, I'm only returning Mumbai and Chennai because these are the two locations which are ends with I can do this over here, or I can as well say that location, or I can have this as a expression or a condition. Okay, so basically we have seen expression, we have seen function here. Let's say the conditions over here also, right? I don't need this over here. I'm gonna remove everything from here, put it here. Okay, so let's run this. So this is expression, first one, function is second one, condition you can write it at the top, at the first, not top, at the first, at the beginning, and you can again see the similar results. 1 second guys, false true to, okay, so basically when you do this okay, so it evaluates these conditions. Okay, and basically what it's saying, it is returning you true or false. Okay, so yeah, so when we be returning this, it will say return this value, and it will say okay, only two of them are true. Right, so you can write a uh, uh, write a condition also as part of the list comprehension. Okay, so this is all about list guys. Just to recap, list is a collection of different data type, right? List and dictionary are the prominent or the or versatile data type which will be used. Okay, you can, list is mutable, not immutable, it is mutable, so you can change the elements of the list here and there. And again we have seen a lot of functions on the list. Okay, and list comprehension is the last thing which you have said. Okay, so with this we ends up the session.